Okay, so today we have a huge goal. We want to get most of, if not all of, this subfloor completed today. But before I do that, I have to do a little bit more leveling on some of these perimeter blocks. We'll drop down about a 1/4 inch over here, so I'm going to see if I can get that to come back out so we have a nice level floor. I have a patch to do sitting right under you guys that we'll have to do just before we lay the subfloor. Then we're going to start laying the subfloor from the kitchen all the way to the living room. Getting this subfloor in is going to make it solid and stronger for the drywall we're doing between the perimeter blocks, the subfloor, the extra gussets we put on the rafters, all of that. It's going to help us support the drywall. We replaced all of our 1x3 and 1x4 walls in all of the interior walls with 2x3 or 2x4, depending on where they were, so that we knew we had enough surface area for the drywall that we're going to put up too. So hopefully before the end of this week and before the end of this episode, we'll have all of our subfloor down, all of the final exterior wiring done. My dad still has to put in a GFCI over there, a couple of little minor things he's got to wrap up, and then that'll get the wiring done so that potentially by the end of this episode you will start to see us hang drywall. Let's get the subfloor in, finalize our wiring, insulate the bathroom, take care of the rafters in that bathroom, and prepare our final steps to start hanging drywall. None of this would have been possible without the help of the entire family, a couple of friends, and all of you viewers who have thrown in every chance you've gotten to cheer us on, sending us things that helped us along the way, and just giving us all the blessings that we are so grateful for. Keep up while we can try to work through this. I'm not exactly sure what is attached to this, other than maybe some staples. There we go. Looks like I got enough room I can attach something on this side for a backer. Cut that one so close, it's just right here.
The doctors had all said that as quickly as possible. Jennifer had to learn to monitor herself. That John and Mary needed to step back, even when she was only 7 and 8, to let her know her own signs, tests, and
My daughter. Stop.
And then hit it. Text it? John held the phone so she could get the message. Jen smiled. Better start keeping a sharper watch on Elizabeth, she said. If that Ben Johnson had any grandfather's blood in it.
Unless you're testing it, there's no glue down.
Well, yeah, we're gonna test fit it.
Okay.
Do you want this side? Here, I'll do this.
I don't care.
I'll knock over the camera.
Don't knock it over. But I can stand in front of it, right?
I don't care.
Push the hole, whatever it is. I almost stepped in the hole.
Let's see. Yeah, we'll do it this way, and then that way I can do the next cut And then of course we know it's just one after the next.
Right. Until we get to that vent.
Yeah, so 8. Yeah, there'll be several pieces by the time we get there. And it'll literally just be drop the next and next and take it down there and drop the next. It'll be after these two are cut and prepped.
Yeah.
It'll just kind of be a quick. That's the flow.
Slow down there and keep going and slow down over there.
Yeah.
Think you're ready?
What in the world? Stop this. Yay.
Don't know what your problem was. It fits.
It was this thickly painted paper right here. Part of the OSB for the kitchen is down and attached. We're going to add a few more ring shank nails just to guarantee a little more hold on this stuff, but it's good and solid. It's had all night to cure up and the adhesive take in. So the next thing we've got to do over here, even though we've got the perimeter blocks on and we've repaired the rotten flooring that was under this window, it's actually perfectly level here. We've got some space here on this side. And after looking at a few things and thinking about it, we've got a floor joist here, and then we've got the exterior rimmed joists. And what I think I did is when I put the perimeter blocks in, I think I got the back end too tight and it's pushing that one up. So what I'm going to end up doing, before we put the OSB subfloor over here in this section, I'm going to go out there, do some adjustments to the perimeter blocks and see if we can get this a little more level right here. Just right at this end where it tips out. Before we attach the OSB, just to make sure that that is the problem that we have going on. So I'm going to work on that. Before I do, I'm going to go ahead and get suited up. It's just right at freezing level outside, so I'll go ahead and get some coveralls on and we'll head out there and do some adjustments. I just spent about 45 minutes going back and forth, up, down. Just minor adjustments, 5 minutes in, 5 out, 5 in, 5 out. And I pretty much got us within between 1/4 and 1/8. We can call it 3/16 of an inch, but I also have a separate problem where I believe this is slightly swollen. So maybe I'll sand that through a little bit. Bet you I'll be right at it, and then we're ready to lay some subfloor. But I've got it as level as I can get out there. Should be able to get a pretty good idea now if I put the level in here.
at the little on the side, but you know, different shape. Look at the material.
Oh, a couple of screws and we're good.
There's the hammer, Dad.
A little bit of glue.
A little bit of glue. Okay, before we do drywall, we have some minor things to finalize. We're still working on insulation for the bathroom ceiling, which we know we're going to drywall. And then, of course, we've installed the bathroom fan / light. This bathroom had never had a fan before, so this is going to be super important. And thank you to the viewer who sent it. This is great. But before we can finish putting the insulation up, we're going to have to drill holes for the ductwork for this fan. And since we're not going to go through the roof because we cannot find the vent we need for that, we're going to use an 8-foot duct tube that goes across this direction. We're going to come through here and go between the closet where we plan on doing a wall about yay wide between the drain pipe, the closet, and some wiring that's in there. Plus, I do believe there'll be a medicine cabinet inside the bathroom too. So I'm going to go ahead and work on getting that drilled, and then we can wrap up and put the rest of this insulation up. And I can tell you, this is a little bit tricky having to figure out exactly how to do this so that it comes across to everything without interfering with our insulation. So knowing the tube's going to come across here, we'll take the insulation and we're going to put it over and under. That way we do know we at least have a pretty decent form of insulation here. And all we got to do now is just measure up to make our hole through there. So we know we got to be 1.5 inches up to the bottom. And we'll come in from the end. And it looks like if we go with 32 and 5/8, we'll have it. Okay, now the pipe can run through in that way. Let's work this thing. There we go. Okay, that'll do on this side. Obviously tube run across here. And we're going to have this little section that'll run down and out to the tube. We're going to basically put a dryer duct in the siding up here like you would with a dryer, and then this can just exhaust out the side. No more moisture stuck in here. Okay, so for the most part, it's prepped enough for us to go ahead and get our plastic vapor barrier up. And then of course, when it's drywall time, we can work on the ceiling.
Work! Work, BJ, work!
Some water, please.
Lisa,
Is it my 12-hour break?
Lisa, can I have some more? Okay, so let's do that wall.
Feels flush to me. You bring it over here. Flush there.
Good. How far did you get it?
Up and lower. What?
You're in one here.
That's the whole kitchen. From wall to corner to Doesn't that seem like it's a little bit cleaner? Okay, the OSB is down. All the little toe kick sections where we were pretty sure the drywall would have problems and we did not accidentally kick us in. Working on building some of the final walls. I accidentally forgot to hit record on the one I did right there for the tub wall. But we got to build the closet side of the back side of the wall next. And then it's just a bunch of little details as we're getting just days away from going to pick up 60 sheets of drywall to start drywalling this place. Very excited. I'm like as excited as you guys. But right now, next thing is building the back side of the wall that is going to be used in this bathroom. So what you just saw was me building this wall. And I forgot to hit record when I was putting it up right here. It happens. But I've got this wall in. This is the back side of the bathtub. This is a sneak peek of the bathtub. And let me tell you, this thing is deep. 19 inches deep. So it'll definitely fit my sister. She's about as tall as I am almost. So this is going to be great for her. But the next wall I have to build is going to be the divider wall that's going to go here. So here I'm putting in a wall because what used to be the water heater hole, we're going to leave it available for a water heater if it ever needed to, because it wouldn't take us much to plumb from under there into a water heater and to reconnect the wiring again. That's a backup plan in case something had happened, or just for the future owners who would move in here in 5 or 10 years or something. But in the meantime, this is going to be built so that this is a closet for the bedroom that's right here. This section, because we're going to have the vanity over here, is going to be built in a way that the drain plumbing is down below, hiding behind the vanity under the one side. But above, from here up, we plan to have it set up so that this can be shelving. So if you're standing here at a vanity, there could be towels, there could be items you needed, toothpaste, mouthwash, just whatever. And of course, you guys are sitting on the toilet right now. So I'm going to move forward with getting this done. Looks like today, my dad and my sister, while I was at work, got the plastic up in here so we have a proper vapor barrier on the ceiling in the bathroom now. But getting this up is just going to get us those steps closer we need to getting that drywall, which is literally planned for 36 hours from now. 36 hours from now, we're going to pick up drywall, unload, and load in here 60 sheets, and then get started on that ceiling. I can tell you, having this OSB subfloor in here definitely has made this floor so much stronger compared to what it was before. It's solid, it's flat, and it's level, and we like it. Okay, because this is a super small, super simple wall, We're just going to go ahead and use screws to put it together. No nails, simple, fast. Simple wall. Hopefully it'll be a simple install. Hold this. I'm going to try and come in like this and just swing it around and get it placed. We'll go from that point and see what happens. Through a wall to get through a wall. So far, so good. So, we'll start by setting the bottom down here, because I know I have to have at least ½ an inch on the back side of this for the drywall. So it's not much, but simple, small closet here for the people who are sharing this smaller room. So this should be pretty good. We're gonna have a little base on the bottom. I'm gonna have to add a couple of studs up here before we do the drywall, and then just a little top, but we want to make sure the drywall's up in before we do that. Look, I'm in the baby closet. It'll be enough to hang some stuff, do some shelves. Nothing too special, but better than not having one at all. Add a dresser, a couple other spaces for storage. That'll work pretty good, actually. So there we go. Another hard week. Pretty good amount of work. It's really exciting being just days from finally getting drywall and starting to turn this house into a home. You get all this insulation covered and it's going to start taking shape again, especially if you're one of the people who can't quite imagine what it would look like. But we're definitely there and we're ready. There's still a couple of certain walls that'll be built, but it's going to be done after drywall's on all the exterior walls. That way we don't have difficulty trying to mud them and everything, and you can put the walls up on the inside, kind of like the way they built these mobile homes anyway when they first built them. For everybody who's asked, my sister is working on a home decor wish list. We'll get that up probably right after we get the drywall close to done. She works a full-time job, I work a full-time job. It's kind of a time constraint thing. Plus this is like almost like having a second full-time job. So, but we will get it. Just keep your eye open for the next week or two. The next bit in this series you're absolutely probably going to see is drywall and the fun and not fun of trying to get it up. The hardest part we're sure is going to be getting the drywall on the ceiling. We don't have a drywall lift, so we're going to have to do it manually. Maybe kind of build a jack post or something to hold it up for us and stuff like that. But that's the next big deal. Get the ceiling done, start working on getting the drywall on the walls, then start doing the tape, follow that up with a texture job, and starting to make the house look like a home again.